Draftstars Legends, we've got 5 games to go through here in round 19. There's lots of Origin guys out and a few droppings and injuries as well. So let's kick it off with Sharks and the Tigs. And you imagine in this one that the Tigers won't play as bad. Defensively, the Sharks aren't as great, so it should be very high scoring, but potentially some of the Tigers can get out of this one alive like they didn't last week. But in the outside backs, you really need to be looking at all of those Sharks guys again. That left side is in much better form than the right. So, Ronaldo, Talakai, and then Will Kennedy at the back are going to be your selections I think you need to do in this one. And then, potentially a cheap Asu Kapoa could be an option there for the Tigs in this one. For the halves hookers, it's very clearly Nicho Hynes at the 83 average, and really from there, there's no one else. Moylan could pull out a decent one as well. But you want to be grabbing Nicho Hynes at all costs, basically, and go for, obviously, the cheaper outside backs, and then potentially a cheaper forward in this one as well. So, you're looking at forwards, and Britton Nakora, obviously, the guy on this list that is going to be one of the better scorers, clearly can score a try as well. That's with Teague Wilton as well, and Toby Rudolph coming back, I think you want to avoid him, and McKinnis playing at 13, should be able to score you close to a 50 as well. But really what you want to be looking at is some of these cheaper guys, and Jack Williams been averaging fairly solidly. Thomas Hazelton's been scoring tries, so he got a nice 38 and 39 the last 2 weeks as well. And that's probably all I would be looking at there. So hopefully you can get one of those cheaper guys in. Fanoa Bole could do a job as well before you spend all that money on Nicho Hynes, that's for sure. So we move to the Raiders up against the Dragons, and still not a lot of really, really top options here, or really, really good options. And Zach Lomax has been that guy that's been super consistent, and he could be a guy to slot in your squad there for sure. Seb Chris, the cheaper price. Jared Croker there, averaging 37 his last 3 as well. Probably the guys you want to be looking at in this one. Really not much else along there with Tim McCall at 17k. Just seems a little bit too expensive to grab in your side there. And you've got the halves hookers, Jamal Fogarty, the best scorer at the moment. Jack Whiten's been solid as well. And other than that, I think Jaden Sullivan with no Ben Hunt will be your play in this one at 14k. He's been okay the last few weeks. 26 is lowest in the last 5, but without Ben Hunt there, he'll do a lot more of the kicking, a lot more of the general work, and a lot more of the try assist as well. So Sullivan, a great option this week there. Let's go straight to the cheaper players in this Dragons Raiders outfit. And Ata Mariotta is at 14k. It's a little bit of an awkward one as well there. Ben Masila getting the start on an edge. He's got 35 last week, 39 the week before. So if you can get anything like that, that would work out well. Couchman seems to be scoring pretty well off the bench when he gets his opportunity. So 48 with a try a few weeks ago, 27, 25, 27. So it's not really, really bad. But if you do need a cheap guy, then that might be the way to play it. Otherwise, it's Blake Laurie and these kind of guys. Francis Molo, I continue to look at as an option and continues to get 40. So that could be the play in that cheaper range there in that game. And you move to the Eels versus the Warriors, and a lot of guys out in this one. Obviously, Gutho's been a really important player, and I think that the Warriors can bounce back with a win. I still would be looking at Bailey Simonson there with Dejan Arce in there, giving him plenty of good ball. He's been a lot of good form, so he's someone to look at for sure. They've got Sean Russell at pretty expensive now that he's getting that fullback slot, and really no one else you want to look at from down below. Like if you expect the Eels to do really well, then you can go Sivo or Lumilumi, sorry. But yeah, probably not for those guys, and I'd be looking more to the Dallins, the Chances, and Simonson there in that one. Let's go to halves hookers, and Johnson has a good chance that he's out of this game, and if he is, then guys like Luke Metcalf are going to be going to have more of a bigger role, or Ronald Volkman if he gets his opportunity. Brendan Hands will be solid. Same with Assi there. I would be picking Dejan in this one, given he's lost a little bit on his price. Madison's still very expensive for what kind of role he's going to play. So I think RC is going to be the best play there. And then you're looking at the forwards for the Eels. And I think Junior Barlow there with Regan out is going to be really, really important. Ryan Madison playing in the halves. I think Junior's going to play big minutes here and score really, really well. And then Ogden is a nice one as well, given that he was able to score a try. If Sean Lane, he could be one of those guys that comes in for a Davey or a Cartwright. So just check out which one, which guy he's going to come on for, or come in for in the starting side if he does, but might be worthy of avoiding Cartwright or Davey, unless it's clear that Cartwright's going to play the big minutes there. Jermaine Hopgood, a very, very solid pick up, obviously, in that one. We got 2 games to go, and that's the Rabbitohs v the Bulldogs to kick things off there. Braden Burns seems to be a guy that scores pretty well when he gets his opportunity, averaging 43 in his last 3. I think the guy you do need to select is Munro in this one. He keeps his spot at 9K, and I think this is a game where he can do pretty well. You got Blake Wilson is a solid cheapie as well that could do okay, but really it's going to be, which team comes out and plays better. I expect it to be fairly close, and maybe Averillo at the fullback. He does have a 30 odd average, which isn't great, but none of the options in this outside backs are very good at all. Sort of Burns and Johnson. I really wouldn't want Johnson either. So it's like Tass, Burns, Averillo. They're all pretty average, let's be honest. All right, halves hookers. Burton should be the guy that come out and do really well. He's at 23.5K though. He does have Sexton next to him. He's going to take a few of the kick meters for sure. I'd probably look at selecting someone like Dean Hawkins, who I think will be able to play a nice role in with Lockie Ilias and get you a good score. He got the 37 last time he played, and I expect something like that again. Pretty comfortably there for sure. In the forwards, some of the cheaper guys have been doing really well. Jaime Sele averaging 42. They're going to need him. But I think Ben Lovett at 11K should be able to get big minutes and a big score in this team there. There's two guys at the cheaper range. And then if you are going up top, there is obviously Shaq Mitchell at 13.6. And then Jacob Preston is the clear best option, obviously, in the forwards there. Displayed with his 21,000 price tag. If you're going to the outside backs of the Titans up against the Dolphins, I expect this to be fairly high scoring as well. I expect a bounce back from Asako there. Brian Kelly has been really solid, but Val Tafare under 15K should be able to play pretty well. Same with Jaden Campbell at 12.6. There's a few options in that one there. Halves hookers, it's got Verrills averaging 44. Tanner Boyd a much better game last one with 49, so he should be fairly consistent up there. I'd be avoiding Jeremy Marshall King. You've got Aaron Clark, who's averaging okay, coming off the bench now, 36 and 31. His last two at 9K, so that's something pretty consistent you can get out of him. And then when you're looking to the forwards, it's very clearly Cleese Haas. He's up on the price, unfortunately, at 12.6, but good chance that he can score a try and do really well there. Jesse Bromwich, when he gets his opportunity, seems to be pretty solid as well. Lows of 31 there. Isaac Sulamawi, I should say. Can't even speak at the moment, but 10K for him. Should be able to get a few more minutes in this one with his brother Tino out. Ray Stone's going to be pretty solid again. There's really not a lot in this game when the highest price forward is 17.3 and it's Kenny Bromwich. It's not great at all. So I'd stick with the low range guys and then go pretty heavy in the halves hookers, potentially with the flex as well. And then going into the outside backs there in that one. So that's the finish to this Draftstars video, guys. If you haven't signed up yet, jump in the description, use the link in there. Just let them know that you've come through me. I really appreciate the support, you guys watching this video, and good luck in Draftstars over the weekend.